first grade. Today we are going to read Chapter 6, Tin Can, in Junie B. Jones' first grader Cheater Pants, with permission from Scholastic. Tin Can, Chapter 6. The next morning I sat next to Herb on the bus. I sit next to him every single day. On account of that's what bestest friends automatically do. Herb started talking about his new dog Dilly, only I couldn't even pay attention that good. Because how can you talk about Dilly when you've got a note from your teacher in your pocket? Mother and Daddy had signed that dumb thing, and now I had to take it back to Mr. Scary. I slumped way down in my seat. School was not being fun these days. I looked at Herb. I wished I could tell him about my problem. Only what if he didn't like cheaters? And he found out I was one, then he didn't like me either. I thought real hard. Then finally I took a deep breath and I decided to take a risk. I leaned real close to his ear and I whispered to him very secret. Okay, here's the situation, Herb. I said, I'm in a little bit of trouble at school. Only I'm not bad, I promise. It's just that yesterday I accidentally did something wrong. But I don't actually want to tell you what it was. Or else you might not like me anymore. Herb looked at me and shrugged. You copied May's homework when she went to the office, he said. I did a gasp at that boy, because how did he know private information? I scratched my head, but, how did you even? Herb interrupted me. I saw you, he said. Lenny and Jose saw you too. You're a terrible sneak, Junie B. Really terrible, I mean. I did a little frown. That was not a compliment, possibly. Herb patted my arm. Don't worry, we still like you, he said. Just don't copy May's homework anymore, and then you won't get in trouble. I nodded my head. Then I patted him back. That herb is good for me, I think. Me and Herbert walked to room 1 together. Then we stopped right in our footsteps because wowie, wow, that whole room looked different, I tell you. Instead of being in rows, all the desks were arranged in group of circles. We looked in the back where we sit. There were 5 desks in our group. May was already in her seat. And this is what the picture looks like. Wowie, wow. She was cleaning her desktop with a moist towelette. Just then, Lenny and Jose walked in behind us. Whoa, said Lenny. What's going on here, said Jose. Mr. Scary told us to please find our desk and he will explain this in a minute. All of us went back and sat down. Sitting in a circle feels friendly. We waved and smiled at each other. Only not to May. She looked smuggy at us. I already know why we're sitting like this, she said. I was the first one here this morning. And when you're first, you get to know stuff. Jose stared at her moist towelette. He made a cuckoo sign. Just then, Mr. Scary went to the board, and he wrote a weird word. Boys and girls, this morning we're going to be doing a poetry assignment, he said. That's why I arrange your desks like this. I want you to be able to talk over your thoughts and share ideas. He pointed at the word. It was spelled Cinquain. Does anyone want to try to pronounce this, he asked. Does anyone want to sound it out? May jumped right up. Tin can, she shouted. It's pronounced tin can. She grinned real delighted. I know it's tin can because you told me this morning, remember? I was the first one here and I saw you write it on the board and I laughed at that crazy. Oh, I missed 2 pages. You told me it was pronounced tin can. Mr. Scary looked puzzled at her. Gee, I'm sorry, May, but it's not tin can, he said. You must not have heard me correctly. The word is pronounced like the words sin and cane. Sin cane. May crossed her arms. No, she said. I'm sure that's not what you told me. You said it was tin can, Mr. Scary. You know you did. Mr. Scary frowned. No, May, I didn't, he said. Now please take your seat. May sat down in a huff. She put her head down on her desk and hid under her sweater. Mr. Scary looked back at the board. A Cinquain is a poem that has 5 lines, he said, and each line has its own special rule. He wrote the 5 rules. First line, 1 word. It's the title. Second line, 2 words that describe the title. Third line, 3 action words about the title. Fourth line, 4 words that express a thought or feeling about the title. Fifth line, 1 word that means the same thing as the title. After that, he wrote one for us to see. It was a poem called Pickle. Pickle, bumpy lumpy, crunching, munching, lunching, cucumbers, making you pucker. Gherkin. Just so you know, gherkin's a type of pickle. I laughed at that crazy thing because who ever heard of a pickle poem? Writing is fun, I said. This assignment will be a breeze, I think. Mr. Scary smiled. Well, sometimes it can become very easily, Junie B, and other times they don't. But if you share words and ideas with each other, you can really help spark your imaginations, he said. He looked all around. In fact, I thought it might be fun for some of you to write your poem as a team, he said. May quick came out from under her sweater at that news. She looked up at her group. Okay, fine. I'll be the team leader, she told us. After that, she made a mean face at Mr. Scary and she took out her pencil. I know just what we're going to write about, too, she said kind of growly. She waved her hands at us. You 4 guys just talk about your normal stupid stuff and I'll write the poem, she said. I'll read it to you when I get done. Lenny looked disappointed. But Mr. Scary said we should write our poem together, May, he said. See, said Jose, we're supposed to share thoughts and ideas, remember? May threw her hands in the air. I knew it, she said. I knew working as a team wouldn't work. Fine, you guys. Just write your own dumb poem and I'll write mine. After that, she took her pencil and paper and she hid under her sweater again. All of us looked at each other and shrugged. Then we started to work. I tapped my chin. I said. The first line needs to be the title, I said. So maybe this title should come first. May peeked her eyes out at me. Duh, she said. Jose covered her up again. Just then, Herb raised his hand. Hey, I know, he said. Since Mr. Scary wrote a pickle poem, why don't we write one about an olive? He leaned back in his chair and did happy thumbs up. No one did a thumbs up back. Because what kind of dumb idea was that? An olive? I said, I hate olives. An olive? I said. I hate olives, said Jose. I threw up an olive once, said Lenny. Herb looked irritated at us. I patted him. Don't be mad, I said. It's just that maybe there's something funner to write about than an olive, that's all. See, said Jose, like maybe we could write about soccer. Playing soccer is fun, right? Yes, I said. Plus riding the bus to school is fun, right, Herb? Me and you always have fun on the bus, don't we? Lenny shook his head. But I don't ride the bus, Junie B, he said. I think we should write about something that all of us know about. He thought for a second, then he clapped his hands together. I know, we could write about how all of us shampoo our hair to keep it healthy and shiny. All of us do that, right? After that, me, Jose, and Herb just looked and looked at him. Because sometimes Lenny's off the deep end, that's why. Finally, Jose put his head on his desk. Maybe we're making this too hard, he said. Why can't we just write about something easy? Like, how about all of us are friends or something? Herb smiled a little bit. Yeah, that's a good idea. We could write about the 4 of us and we could call it Friends. Jose smiled too. See, he said. Or Amigos, maybe. Just then, I bounced up and down real excited because the perfect title just hit me. That's why it hit me right out of the clear blue sky. Pallies, I said. Let's call it Pallies because that's what we are, right? All 4 of us are bestest pallies. And pallies sound like a cute title, don't you think? I looked at them real hopeful. Then all my pallies started to smile. Our poem was off to a great start. Okay. And next chapter, that's it for chapter 6. And next chapter is chapter 7. And guess what? It's called Pallies. Okay, till next time, have a great day. Bye, first grade.